If we're looking at potential Chekhov's guns in Blue Lock, there's none more prominent than Chigiri's leg. The manga has repeatedly pointed out that Chigiri is running on a ticking time bomb. One more injury and his football career is over. That, of course, has led fans to speculate if, when, and how this loaded firearm will go off. And so, I figured I'd throw my 2 cents into the mix on not just how this plot point will be resolved, but also why Chigiri's ending might be the most powerful, inspiring character arc in the entire story. Hello, my name is Sean, and I also can't believe I made a theory video. Before I get to my predictions, I need to set out how Chigiri's injury feeds into his overall character arc. I talk about most of this in much greater detail in my Chigiri analysis, but in brief, before his injury, Chigiri held strongly misguided views about the nature of talent. According to his younger self, the world is divided into haves and have-nots. There are those with and without talent, and those who have been blessed like himself are the chosen ones with the God-given right to success, fame, and glory. And so, Chigiri essentially plays to validate this self-image, to show to the world that he's been gifted with the talents that are virtually guaranteed to make him the world's greatest striker. But as he discovers firsthand, fortune is a fickle goddess who giveth and taketh away. He used to take his innate abilities for granted, and as a result, he's now firmly landed himself in the camp of the have-nots. It's hard to even put into words how great of an impact this injury had on Chigiri. After all, his entire sense of self-worth was derived from his talents, his unquestioned belief that he was destined for greatness. That's the true reason why he was holding himself back at the start of the manga. Despite all he said about wanting to quit, he was still holding on to this tiny sliver of hope that he could make his dreams a reality. But if he'd tear his ACL for good, that's it, and he'd lose his every reason to keep living on. It's actually stunning how closely Chigiri's story confirms Snuffy's words of wisdom to Barrow. Prodigies often struggle to love themselves for reasons other than their talents. So here's my question. Has Chigiri actually found a healthier source of self-esteem since he entered Blue Lock? And to be honest, I don't think so. Chigiri might have buried his notions that he's some kind of prodigy, but what he sees as his driving impulse is still his ability to surpass others. In his own words, the only time I can believe in myself is the moment I break past someone. So if the present-day Chigiri were to get injured once more, he'd be no better off than he was at the start of the manga, because he hasn't actually learned to love himself for something other than his talents. So now, imagine the following scenario. It's the final match of the World Cup. Noel Noah, the world's greatest striker, is about to score, and Chigiri is the only one with a chance of intercepting the shot. But to do so, he'd have to pull all stops, surpass his every limit, in a sprint that's guaranteed to destroy his leg muscles for good. A dilemma flashes through his mind. He could save his team and even turn this into a goal, but in doing so, he will bring an end to his life as a professional footballer. Chigiri falters for a second. There's always the next World Cup. He could just accept his physical limitations and play to see another day. But no, Chigiri follows through. He breaks past Noah and turns the tides of the match with his goal. And with that, for a brief moment in time, Hyoma Chigiri emerges as the world's greatest striker. Not because he was destined for greatness as one of the chosen few, but because he found a purpose that's greater than his own career, faced his greatest fear, and embraced the consequences head-on. After such a triumph, Chigiri has nothing more to prove, and he never regrets his choice. So that's it from my end, and now you may all proceed to tell me how wrong I am. But if you liked what you saw, consider subscribing for more in-depth Blue Lock analysis, and I'll see you again soon enough.